Our darshanit for this Shabbat is no stranger to the Bima or to the congregation. Barbara Bresler, her husband Mark have been members of our congregation for many years, have raised their children within the congregation. And in all the time that Barbara has been our teacher and our guide and our instructor, her words have often been gentle and insightful and often very thought-provoking as well. And that is because she has a very gentle and insightful and beautiful soul. It's a pleasure to be able to share the Bima with Barbara once again this morning.
That's right. You have to put that down real low for me. I was a little late this morning. I had trouble waking up. I was having this really weird dream about my sister and some mandrakes, which is kind of weird because I don't have a sister. But I do have a brother, Jeff Gladstein, who's here from Atlanta, spending Thanksgiving holiday with us, and it's wonderful to have him here. Today's Parsha, Vayetze, is full of stories and ideas that may be familiar to many of us from our yearly retelling. Each time we approach the text, a new insight has the opportunity to arise, something we might not have noticed before. It is that noticing and new awareness that always precedes a change, sometimes a needed and planned change, and sometimes a newly understood need for change. Just like the journey Jacob embarks upon, a change in our lives is also a journey. The first words of our Parsha, Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheba, Jacob went out from Beersheba, indicates the first part of any journey, the leaving of a place. Before a change of any kind can take place, one must leave a place or a state of mind behind. Then a new direction may be taken. Sometimes we're running away from something, like Jacob is running from Esau's wrath. Sometimes we're moving towards something. In Jacob's case, the direction is Vayelech Harana. He is going toward Haran, which happens to be the place where God first appeared to Abraham in Lech Lecha, telling Abraham to leave his birthplace. There is a certain amount of danger or risk involved in any new venture or journey. And in the biblical period, traveling after dark was risky. Jacob chooses a place to spend the night as the sun is setting. The word for place, makom, here just means any place, but at times in Near Eastern parlance could mean a sacred site. To Jacob at the moment, it's just a place to spend the night. He falls asleep with a stone under his head and has his famous dream of the ladder set on the ground and ascending to heaven. Angels were going up and down on the ladder, and God was standing beside Jacob. God spoke to Jacob, identifying himself as the God of Abraham, your father, and God of Yitzhak. What God says to Jacob in the dream echoes the promises God made to Abraham and Yitzhak. The ground on which you are lying I will assign to you and to your offspring. Your descendants shall be as the dust of the earth. You shall spread out to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. All the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you and your descendants. Remember, I am with you. I will protect you wherever you go and bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have done what I have promised you. When Jacob awakens from his sleep, he is amazed by his dream, understanding it as a communication from God. He declares, "Surely the Lord is in this place, and I did not know it." There was a practice in the Near East in biblical times in which a follower of a god would sleep in a declared holy site, hoping for some sort of dream revelation from that deity. The Torah here is making it clear, in this case of Jacob's dream, that he had no clue that the spot on which he slept had any significance as a holy site. Jacob's awed surprise and awareness of God's presence so close to him is just the sort of experience many of us yearn for, some kind of sign that would instruct us that God is near. Perhaps Jacob is particularly open to such a revelation since he's on a path to a new life, a beginning of a new phase of his life. When we're on a path we've chosen toward marriage or a new career or toward seeking higher education, we're looking for heightened experiences. But perhaps Jacob's declaration of God is in this place and I didn't even know it is an eye-opener for us to keep in mind. I hear people talk about mindfulness often these days, about how important it is for us to approach encounters with others in our lives with consciousness and intention. We strive to treat the other with respect and honor and care, just as we want to be treated. We talk about how we can care for the earth in the most conscious and mindful way by being careful about how we consume resources and how we treat the workers who tend those resources. The blessings we say every day in our daily prayers are our roadmap to mindfulness so that we do not take for granted the proper functioning of our bodies or the love and care that those close to us provide for us every day. Our ancestor Jacob's response to his dream and encounter with God is a wonderful reminder to us of how to be present in our own lives and how to be grateful for the blessings that come our way. We have to be open enough to our daily experiences to be able to catch the holy moments of unexpected encounters. For Jacob, it wasn't so hard. He had a dream with angels in it and God speaking to him. For us in our modern world, it might not be so easy to discern moments of holy connection. If people around me are receiving communications from God in their dreams, I'm not seeing any tweets or posts on Facebook about it. In my mind, the holy encounters we have in our lives come when least expected, like when the three angels appeared near Abraham's tent to bring the message that Sarah would bear a son the following year. The verb used in that instance to say that those men, angels, were standing near Abraham is the same verb, yatsav, used in Jacob's dream in today's parsha to say that God was standing next to Jacob in his dream. In the case of Abraham and the angels, the text tells us that Abraham raised his eyes and saw the men standing near him. That phrase, raised his eyes, means to me that Abraham was paying attention, making an effort to see what was around him. He saw an opportunity to welcome guests with hospitality, haknasat orchim, and he rushed to fulfill that mitzvah. We never know who the angels in our life might be. What lessons or messages those we meet bear for us. Sometimes holy moments of closeness to God come through people that we know, sometimes through strangers. Like Abraham and like Jacob, if we can be very open to perceive who or what is around us, there are likely godly encounters happening around us and through us on a regular basis. What makes the difference in our ability to discern those moments is being aware enough to say, like Jacob, God is in this place, and I did not know it. Perhaps at this time of Thanksgiving, when we seek to acknowledge our blessings and those whose lives are blessings to us, we can strive to emulate Abraham and Jacob by looking for opportunities to welcome strangers and guests in our midst, and by opening our eyes and hearts to the connections that inform us that God is in this place, in our families, among friends, and in our communities. God is in this place, right here, all around us. Shabbat Shalom.